Hello there, Cryptowisers. It's your good friend Milton here. I got another video for you today, but I also have a surprise. Guess who I found under a rock? Finally, he has crawled out from under his hole. That is right. We got Marvin in the house today.
What is going on, Cryptowisers? Marv is back. I've been under a rock, Milt. What the hell has happened? Bitcoin hitting 47,000.
Crypto has been on fire, and you have been missing in action. Jeez. All right, we got a ton to talk about today. Cryptowisers, we're going to talk about the BTC ETF. It is going to be happening imminently. Hopefully, fingers crossed, toes crossed. This could happen in the next 24 hours, which would be a huge. Obviously, we'll touch on that. But then we are going to do a deep dive into our beloved Polkadot ecosystem. We're going to be talking about all new DOT projects that we're looking at. There's a lot of stuff going on there. And Marv and I are going to chat. Do we still believe in DOT? Is it going to pump this bull run? Lots to talk about there about beloved DOT. You're not going to want to miss that because we're going to be touching on a lot of different projects in the DOT ecosystem that we have not talked about at all on the channel yet.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited, Milt. It's been a while, and I think things couldn't be as exciting as they are right now in the crypto space. And so can't believe that we are entering a new cycle, a new bullish, very bullish cycle. The things that are happening with the ETF are starting to heat up, and it's happening so fast that it's almost hard to keep up.
All right, so if Cryptowisers have been under a rock like Marv have lately, basically Bitcoin is going to be offered as an ETF. There have been there's about 11 applicants, including BlackRock, the biggest ETF provider in the world. And tomorrow is the deadline. They have to do something tomorrow. And because they lost the court case to Grayscale, everyone believes that it is finally going to be approved tomorrow. So there's a lot of opinions about what this is going to do to Bitcoin price and to the crypto price. Obviously, if it gets rejected tomorrow, Marv, okay, so the small chance that the BTC ETF gets rejected or pushed back tomorrow, obviously, then we are going to expect, I would think, a big dump in the market. Bitcoin will dump and alts will follow. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think the fact that it's getting approved itself has been priced in at this point to a degree. Like the market assumes that the approval is coming, it's imminent, and as soon as tomorrow, and as quick trading to be as fast as Friday with BlackRock and some of these.
Right.
At least 3 of them.
Okay, but you didn't answer my question. If it gets rejected,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
because of that, if it gets rejected, of course, I think we're going to see a correction in the market.
Okay, but then in your theory, because a lot of people believe what you just said, which is maybe it's priced in. And
no,
if it
let me correct that though. What I was saying is that it getting approved has been priced in. What I don't think has been priced in is the inflow of cash that will happen from the ETFs themselves.
That doesn't make any sense.
Two different things.
No, they're not different things.
They're
the same
things.
Exact thing.
No,
the
speculation on just the approval is what we're seeing the price action on. In terms of the actual influx of cash, because no one knows how much cash is going to come into these ETFs, that's not there yet. This is solely what I believe is what's happening in the market is just based on the approval or not approval.
But the excitement around the approval is based on the cash coming in.
But the price isn't there yet. If this was based on if we knew how much cash was coming in, and this was based on the cash coming in, it wouldn't be at 47,000. It'd be at 60, 80,000. This is based on, is it getting approved?
You're saying,
yes or no?
But you're saying that you think more cash is coming in than people expect.
Yeah. Well, I think no one knows how much cash is coming in, so you can't price that in yet. What you're pricing in is it getting approved? Will there be cash flowing in? We don't know how much of that cash, so you can't really price in the ETFs as a whole yet. You can just price in the fact that they're coming. That's what we're pricing in.
The fact that Bitcoin has run up to 47,000 is because of the ETF, so there has been some excitement priced in. I would go the step further and actually make a statement, which is I think it's not that they don't know how much money is coming in. I think they're underestimating the the amount of excitement that this will bring to Bitcoin. So even though I would say that some of it is priced in, I don't expect a dump once the approval happens. Do you think this is a sell the news event?
You just switched the question. Do you think it will dump if it's disapproved this week? That was the question.
Of course. Yeah, I was just asking you to agree with me. And now I'm taking it. You went in some tangent about the inflow of liquidity being different from the approval.
Yes.
Okay, so now the question obviously goes, the next question is, if it is approved, do you think that it is a sell the news event and that the price of Bitcoin and crypto dumps?
Listen, I don't look at this stuff on the day to day. I'm not thinking short term. Will there be a short term dump for a day or two? Maybe. The long term effect of this is going to be great. I think that we're going to see Bitcoin rise from this dramatically. I think this is the start of solidifying what is the bull market that's already coming together right now. And so if the ETFs are approved, in my mind, we're going up. Now, will there be short-term dips and that kind of stuff? Yeah, I mean, there's always the sell the news bullshit, but those aren't the real players in the market. The real fact to me is if the ETFs are approved, right now it's looking like 3 maybe by Friday if it is approved, 13 or have already applied or whatever.
No, I think if they're all getting approved. Either none of them get approved.
Not by Friday.
I think so.
Oh, well,
that's the whole point of what they're doing.
That's not what I'm reading.
Go take You're reading. The whole thing is the reason they're going to approve is because they want to do them all at once.
Okay, whatever. I'm reading that there's like 13 to 17 in the process right now, and they're predicting at least 3 of them to get approved this week, and by trading by Friday. I don't know how many are going to get approved.
Okay,
total,
right. Obviously, but I think the 11 or so, there's about 10 or 11 that are at the final stages, and I think the whole point is the SEC wants to just, as opposed to like approving a couple and giving them a head start, want to just do them all at once. But we'll see. You're right. Who knows? No one really knows what's going to happen. I agree with you. I mean, obviously, I think long term, this is huge for crypto. I think people are actually underestimating how huge. And I think when you're in crypto day to day and you follow it minute by minute, which probably people who watch this channel do that, I think we can get lost in how ignorant the real world is to Bitcoin and crypto. And I think that we might be underestimating how this will open the floodgates to mainstream people coming in.
And you also have to realize that this is not the same as what we saw last years back with the options trading. The ETF is a whole different gambit than the options trading, right? And so when the options stuff was getting approved, everyone was so bullish. And then as soon as it was approved, there was a massive dip.
Yeah.
Right? I don't think we're going to necessarily have the same effect. You can't predict the futures guys and the leverage trading stuff. Will there be a dip right after the news? It's possible. I mean, it's very possible. Long term, I'm very bullish on the ETFs coming to market. I think this is a major stamp for the beginning of what we're seeing right now, which is a very exciting bullish cycle.
Great. All right. So basically, we're saying the exact same thing that everyone is saying.
Better than you, though.
No, I think I said it way better. And I'm already bored with this conversation because all we've done is say everything that every other content.
Well, you said that
they
know how much money's coming in. How much money's coming in?
What do you mean they know?
You said, they know. They've priced it in. They have an idea of how much money's coming in. They have no idea how much money's coming in. The fact is, what we're pricing right now is on the ETF. The ETF's coming. Shit's getting bullish. This is an amazing time to be focused in on crypto, period.
All right. Well, let's move on and talk about something that not every crypto channel is talking about. Because if you watch any of these content creators, it's like, and I watch them all. It's like all of them are talking about the Bitcoin ETF over and over and over again. So today, that's fine. That's our final thought on that. And we're going to move on to some more degen stuff. But before we do that, my last video, Marv, I don't know if you watched my last video.
Of course
I don't know if you noticed or not, but someone has been making Cryptowise videos the last few months.
You had 1,000 views. I watched it 999 times.
No, I had 1,500 views.
Oh, sorry.
You're not on the last video there.
Oh, sorry.
So my last video, which I released on Christmas
Is that you
Day,
in a Santa suit, by the way?
That's me. Yeah.
Okay.
My top 12 altcoins for 2024. The exciting thing about that video, though, Marv, was I promised that if I got 1,000 views, 100 likes, and that I would give away a beloved We Are the Walrus NFT. Okay, this is, you and I talked about We Are the Walrus. We loved We Are the Walrus. It's an OG Solana NFT that got released in 2021. And I am committed this bull run to help it reach its full potential. I love the art of this NFT. And I said I would give one of these away. Now, look, I got the 1,000 views on that video. I did not quite get the 100 likes, which I am disappointed on. So technically, I don't need to give away a walrus.
I think we should give one away.
But because I'm feeling so generous and bullish because it's 2024, BTC ETF's coming out, the halvening is going to be happening this year, I'm still going to give one away. So this is the Magic Eden We Are the Walrus here. So one of these, I haven't chosen which guy I'm going to buy and give away yet. I don't know. Any of these stick out to you, Marv? And of course, it's going to be a floor one. I'm not crazy. I'm not going to go buy
I mean,
really
look, I love all the walrus art. I've always been bullish on this project. I know that, during the bear, it's been kind of radio silence, not just for them, for many, many, many NFT projects. But like you said, this is an OG project. The art's amazing. The art alone, to me, makes this project stand out. I love all these guys. I tend to lean towards, like, I don't know, the Nintendo shirt's awesome. The multicolored suit or tux is pretty cool.
The polka dot walrus with the bow tie is pretty awesome. I might splurge because that one is 0.002 Solana more expensive than the floor price. I don't know. I haven't actually decided, but I have chosen my winner. And for some reason, his comment, so I said to the audience that I would choose someone who commented on that video and give them a walrus. For whatever reason, his comment isn't coming up in the regular comments, but I have it here, and I want to read it to folks. This is at Trader G.I. Joe's. Did you like G.I. Joe growing up there, Marv?
I loved G.I. Joes. I was a huge G.I. Joe fan.
Yeah, I love G.I. Joe too. So just in his name, at Trader G.I. Joe's, you got to love that. But look at this. Let's listen to this comment because it's actually a poem about me, Marv.
You got to say it in like a romantic kind of sexy voice.
Okay. Do you have any sound that you can? Okay. Yeah, that's nice. Here is the winning comment for the We Are the Walrus NFT by at Trader G.I. Joe's. Milton has got the best altcoin picks than the rest. At first, he didn't want to have a big bag of Solana. He changed his thought, and for him, it's now up there with Polkadot. Next, he'll tell you what to think about a big blue chip called Chainlink. He showed his courage when the pick Filecoin and Render because of their storage. Milton teaches you based on a budget if you want to buy Multiverse X, the e-gold nugget.
Yeah.
The price drop was one of the grossest. It goes by the name of Osmosis.
I like that.
Another coin that's been picking up steam in a gameplay coin called Beam. One coin that will be hard to beat is one that is sweet. Next, when picking from all the crypto themes, he goes with Dogecoin, the king of the memes. Almost the only person that ever talks about Kilt is our good old friend named Milt. This channel takes the crown by having this top crypto list today as a big surprise. Thank you and Merry Christmas from all of us to the Cryptowise guys.
Wow, I love that.
Wow. At Trader G.I. Joe's. That is worthy.
G.I. Joe's, Trader G.I. Joe's. Was that you that wrote that, or did you ChatGPT that? Because that's pretty epic.
Well, if ChatGPT knows that much about the altcoins from my video, I'm pretty impressed. So at Trader G.I. Joe's,
I don't see anything. I don't see my name anywhere in there.
Yeah, he probably doesn't even know you exist. You haven't been on the channel in years.
G.I. Joe's. I don't see my name anywhere in there, but it's a very nice bump.
He thinks this is the Milton channel, and rightfully so. So anyway, you're going home with a We Are the Walrus. So Trader G.I. Joe's, reply to my reply to your poem with your Solana your Solana wallet address, and I will send you a We Are the Walrus NFT. Thanks for that, though. That poem, that is an amazing comment. I hope the rest of the Cryptowisers out there are going to up their game, because at Trader Joe's, he's putting that the level up. He's leveling up the comments.
That's awesome. Well done, Trader Joe.
All right, well, probably a good moment to remind people to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course follow us on Twitter /X at Cryptowise Guys, at Cryptowise Guys. All right, Marv, enough fooling around. Let's get into some altcoin stuff. Let's talk about our beloved Polkadot. All right, you and I have talked about Polkadot a lot.
That was the wrong sound effect.
On the
Sorry
channel.
About that.
I thought a nest. I thought we had a nest in the studio.
It has been a little while since I used this.
He doesn't even know what buttons to press anymore. All right, so big year. This is a huge year for Polkadot. Okay, you and I, we've loved Polkadot from the very beginning. We pushed it hard last bull run. Well, not that we were pushing it, but we were just giving our
push it. I've been investing in it like a maniac.
We're heavily
Full
too heavily invested
Full disclosure
in Polkadot and its ecosystem. And we gave it a pass last bull run because the Parachains just launched. It was kind of new. It wasn't really ready for the last bull run. Polkadot had a pretty good price. It went up to $50. That was pretty good for the DOT token. Kusama was all right, but the actual project never got a chance to pump. This is a big year, and they're making a huge change to how they're doing things this year. So last time they were doing these parachain, you had to lock in a ton of DOT, and you got a parachain for 2 years. And a parachain is so basically your own blockchain, your own layer 1 blockchain, but you get to use the DOT security and the speed and everything that DOT gives you on the relay chain. Now they're switching to just Coretime, basically block space. You can buy it, you can rent it, you can sell it. It's going to be in an NFT form, this Coretime, which is pretty cool. It's kind of the first chain doing this. This is from the yearly roundup that Gavin Wood put out here. He talks about it here. So I'm just going to go through this quickly about the Coretime aspect of this, so that we can move on and give our opinions here on what we think this is going to do for DOT, and actually will it pump this bull run. All right, so this section of the roundup is called Core Blimey. Agile Coretime, which I first presented as an idea at Decoded this year, is, after a swiftly written RFC and period of intense development, now going live on Rococo and expected on Kusama and Polkadot in Q1 of next year, which is right now, 2024. This fundamentally alters the means by which Polkadot's key resource, time on parachain cores, is acquired. Rather than long-term leases with difficult-to-predict deposits arrived at by auction, instead, Coretime, as the resource is called, is sold off at more predictable prices in a monthly sale just ahead of usage. In the Agile Coretime model, chunks of Coretime are represented by XCM NFTs, and they can be traded, exchanged, advertised, sold in much the same way as any NFT within the Polkadot ecosystem. Moreover, these Coretime NFTs can be sliced, diced in myriad of ways before these smaller bits of Coretime are resold and eventually used for powering a parachain. Already, Coretime marketplaces such as Elastic are taking shape to provide an easy way to trade this new resource class. And this is Elastic here, so it hasn't launched yet, but this is going to be pretty cool. Basically, it's an NFT marketplace, but you're buying and selling Coretime on Polkadot. You can buy as much Coretime as you need. You can... So basically, you don't need to have these big parachain projects anymore. Now anyone will be able to build on DOT, even if you're just a dApp or a very small project. You can just get what you need. And this way, also the other thing about this is that you will have to actually pay DOT for the Coretime, With the Parachain model, you were only locking it up, but they got that back. And so there was no burning really of DOT. So anyway, that's the explanation about what we're talking about in this big shift from Parachain to Coretime. What do you think, Marv?
I think this was a smart move, to be honest, for DOT and the ecosystem. I think that the auctions were very interesting, but at the same time, created quite a bit of barrier to entry. And I think so by doing it this way has a lot of benefits, and I think it was a smart move. And now, do you know what happens? So like all the projects that got Parachains, what's going to happen to those when we switch over to this?
Well, no, the Parachains are going to continue, for now at least. I think that's how it's going to work, and then
until this model is fully implemented.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So I think it's going to work. Both things are going to work.
I think long term, this was a great play. I think a pivot needed to happen, and I think this was a really intelligent way of doing that. And I think long-term for DOT, it's going to mean a number of things, including price action to the positive direction.
And do you think this will, because the big thing with DOT, and again, we're looking at the Elastic website here if you're watching us on YouTube, I think that's a project one just to look out for, because that's a project that doesn't have a token yet, and eventually I'm sure it will. So that's something to look out for, because I think being, if this ends up working, this marketplace of buying and selling Coretime is going to be really important. And if Gavin Wood is already name dropping them as a marketplace to look out for, that's a project you want to be watching. Do you think, because the big question with DOT, okay, the reason why you and I loved it so much is because the tech is one of the best tech stacks in all of crypto. Like what it is able to do in terms of TPS, in terms of security and decentralization, how they have the actual decentralized governance, the way it can scale and the way it can upgrade without forks, the forkless upgrades and everything. It is an amazing blockchain. It's a layer 0, which is a bit confusing. It's complex, which made it, I think, too confusing for retail investors last time. And so there is not a lot of activity on DOT yet. That's the main problem with it. And so that's the main question. Do you think, are you still bullish on DOT this bull cycle? Do you think that they are ready to actually get users, activity, liquid.
I think, to be honest, I'm more bullish on DOT than I've ever been on this cycle. It's finally ready, right? And I think what DOT, and you talk about this, we've talked about this before, DOT's been focused on the technology and not marketing DOT as a mainstream product, so to speak. And it is very technical. But what they've been doing is working their asses off. And you talk about activity. Well, there has been a shit ton of activity from the development communities building and building and building in the background on DOT, right? And so a lot of things have been developed, a lot of things have been built. Where Polkadot stands now, and I hope, of course, that they're well positioned to do extremely well on the next cycle. And I think if things are timed properly here, DOT could be one of the biggest sleeper moves in all of crypto history if things come to light at the right time here.
You know what's an interesting aspect that doesn't get talked about, especially in the bull runs when everyone's excited, is, the SEC was coming after all the exchanges and stuff, and they kept listing all these projects as securities. Mm-hmm. And Solana kept being named. I forget the other names, but a lot of the other layer ones were named as basically registered securities, and Polkadot never came up. And they did do a lot of work, Polkadot, working with the SEC, making sure that they were doing things right. They are in my opinion, the most actually decentralized project at this point. So they really will. I think that's an interesting thing if any of these other blockchains get caught up in this idea that they basically distributed an unsecured security. And if DOT is the only one that doesn't get touched, that could be really interesting.
I don't disagree with you. And look, Polkadot remains today, it's number 11 on the top list of projects, right? And so it's been it's been one of the quieter ecosystems, but there's been so much happening in the background. The Polkadot, the community has been doing everything that everyone else has been doing, but it's not as talked about. And I think a lot of the tech is now coming to fruition. You've got incredible projects doing incredible things, like you talk about Kilt a lot. I mean, their partnership with Deloitte and some of the other major things that are happening on a lot of these DOT projects. A little bit more time, but in this next cycle, which it's really heating up now, I think DOT is lined really, really well. And we'll see. I mean, my portfolio speaks for itself. I'm very, very, very bullish on DOT and its ecosystem, and that hasn't changed. I was disappointed, like you, Milt, in its price performance last time around. But I think we could see something very, very interesting happening here. And I think for anyone, I think they would be naive to discount it and not pay attention to it in this cycle.
All right, so let's talk about some specific things that we're excited about so far that's going on DOT. There's a lot of this is one of the reasons why I am optimistic that the attitude and the community in DOT are starting to think different, because they've always kind of thought they've done such an amazing job thinking great of big picture, but then they have never really done things to really get retail investors exciting. That started to change now because we got meme coins.
You sure do.
Coming to DOT. That is right. Can you imagine Polkadot and meme coins? Because the meme coin, I have to admit, and obviously if anyone who watched this channel the last bull run, I was down on meme coins. You know, I was not into them at all. But to me, I was proven wrong. Obviously, they're going to be part of crypto. They're a great way to get community excitement going. I mean, they're kind of, to me, they're like culture in a token form. You know, and so will the price be completely volatile, and will most of these meme coins go to zero eventually? Probably. But in the meantime, I think if you can, as Bonk has proven on Solana, these things can go crazy, especially in a bull run. So DOT has 2 meme coins coming out, Marv. The first one, DOT is dead.
I love the design of this logo, by the way. DOT is
dead.
The
logo's great. They're coming out with some NFTs, I guess. The phase 2 will be the deployment of the dead bird NFTs, and the birds are cool looking.
They're awesome.
Yeah,
they're awesome.
So that will be cool to look out for. But basically, and this is because the other thing about DOT, what it's never had, which a lot of the other ecosystems have had, is the frenzy around airdrops. You know, everyone on Solana farming for airdrops. That really is what started the whole uptrend with Solana this time around. Avalanche did it in the last bull run. It was like Phantom was doing it. Anytime there was an airdrop frenzy, a lot of people went to that chain. Well, DOT is dead is a airdrop for all DOT holders.
Yeah. Can you go back to that last tab that you just had open? Because they talk about that here. I love this. No pre-sale, no team and early investor allocations, airdrop to all DOT holders.
Yeah. So how this works basically is, I don't know when they're going to do the snapshot. I know that they're working on it because they in their documents here, they say that they're trying to do an airdrop to all DOT holders, which includes the liquid staking and people who are doing liquid staking. And people,
not an easy task.
Yeah, it's not easy. All the different wallets. I would say the safest bet is if you are using a Polkadot JS wallet, a Talisman, a Nova wallet, Sub wallet, the main DOT wallets, and you have native DOT in those wallets. And if you're staking directly in any of the staking pools, I think that's probably the easiest way for them to track you. And you'll probably be, if you're on something like Akala or some of these other chains that aren't actually on the main DOT network, then you're kind of hoping that Akala is working with the DOT is dead people and they're going to work that out. But if you don't have DOT right now, here's an incentive to get into it. If you were thinking of buying DOT and you haven't yet, well, here's going to be an airdrop for any DOT holder. Now, Don't have your DOT on Binance or stuff like that because those won't count.
Yeah, I know. And you and I just talked. I was just moving some of my DOT over from Trust Wallet into my Polkadot JS and my Talisman for this specific reason in anticipation of the dead meme. I mean, these things could be absolutely huge.
Yeah, I mean, they're lottery tickets, really.
Lottery tickets, but it doesn't matter because your base investment, your core asset investment is in DOT. So if you believe in DOT, then what's the downside?
Yeah, I mean, the only meme coin I've ever bought is actually Doge, and I bought that more recently because I think it's going to do well in the next bull run.
How's that doing for you?
It's been fine so far. So
it's like holding a mutual fund since when you bought it.
No, Doge I just bought. I didn't have Doge before.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. It hasn't done much.
But all the other ones I got dropped to me, like Bonk I got airdropped to me, and then that did really well for me. So dead.
Have you sold any Bonk?
No, I still have all my bonks. It's still actually not bad.
For those of you who don't know, Milt doesn't ever actually sell things. He collects them.
But anyway, if you're on the fence about DOT, this might be a reason to get in now and try to get yourself some debt. I want to know from Cryptowisers who are into DOT, what DOT wallet is your fave? Because Marv and I have been talking about this. I use all of them now, but I haven't decided on what my favorite one is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really enjoying Talisman now. I'm always skeptical about third-party wallets. I know they're all built on the same. Talisman's been around a long time. Polkadot JS is great, but it's a bit confusing for a lot of people in terms of setting up and using it. But the wallets are coming a long way. Talisman is reminding me a lot of Phantom. Like they're doing a lot of good things.
And Subwallet is good. The Nova wallet is a good phone app wallet if you're looking for one. And the first one I ever used, not Polkadot JS, was Fearless Wallet, and it's still actually a good wallet.
And I think we should do a video on the Polkadot Vault at some point. You know, that's where you take an old cell phone and you essentially create an offline wallet with it. Which we should actually. Cool.
That is a great concept that they have. All right, so
but this is not the only meme coin. No, there's another exciting project.
Take it away, Marv.
Well, you have the links open, so if you could bring those up. But essentially, guys, I think, Milt, you talked about this project already on one of your videos so far. You kind of hinted towards it, or is that right or wrong?
I don't on the channel. I'm not sure if I talk. I've been talking Twitter, about it on Twitter, on X. Twitter. I've been talking
guys,
about it.
It's pink, okay? It is pink. Pink, 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 pink. This has been one of the... I'm a big gamer. I've been a gamer since I was a little kid, okay? And I got to tell you, I play Call of Duty and all this kind of stuff, and you name it, I play it. I've been... Since Pink came out, since Milt brought this damn game to my attention, okay? Pink is a very basic game. Think Tetris, think Bust-A-Move. Essentially, you're dropping little balls with Polkadot Project logos on it, and you're smashing them together to get on that leaderboard. But essentially, it's a ton of fun. It's extremely addicting. And the idea here is, and they haven't confirmed it, but they've kind of, nudge, nudge, nudge towards it, is that Pink is essentially building its leaderboard, and that's how they're going to distribute their airdrop. And interestingly enough, they're targeting other chains for you to connect your wallets to, okay, in which you'll then have to probably bridge over to DOT, which is a great way to bring in other ecosystems into the DOT network. But Milt, this game is a ton of fun. Every time Milt was calling me, he said, here's my high score. And then I'd be like, oh, shit, I got to play Pink. I got to beat Milt's score. And then I would go and I would beat his score. And I'm not sure he'll be able to beat me at this point. But essentially, it's really fun. It's really easy to use. I do recommend, guys, if you do use Pink, to use a wallet with nothing in it, because, as much as I'm loving the game, just from a security standpoint, anytime you give access to a wallet, make sure that it's a clean wallet, because we just never know. But
yeah, that's a really good point, and I want to double that down on that for anyone who's watching, because crypto's heating up again. If you're new to the channel, new to crypto, one of the key things, anytime you connect your wallet to a new dApp that you're not sure of, or even old dApps, you got to be very careful. But I always create a brand new wallet, and I only put a little bit of crypto in it before I attach that wallet.
Yeah, and in this case, you actually don't need any crypto to play. That's the nice part. So you literally just need a fresh wallet. You connect it. You play Pink, and your idea is to get on that get on the leaderboard and to earn as many points and as high of a score as you can, with hopes that in the long term, that's how Pink's going to distribute their airdrop. And it sounds like that's what they're going to do. And the game's a ton of fun. I mean, it's just
I mean, it's literally the most fun way to earn an airdrop that I've seen. Yeah, I mean, the game is just it's so simple and a lot of fun. So these are the wallets that you can connect to right now. And as Marv was saying, one of their goals that they have, the Pinkonomic guys, is to bring people to Polkadot from other chains, especially Ethereum. So you can use your MetaMask on, and that would be Ethereum, the Ethereum network. You can use Talisman, and that's actually through the Ethereum network on Talisman. Talisman is a Dot wallet, but you can use other chains on Talisman. Sub wallet you can connect to from the Dot network. They did used to have Phantom on here, so I guess one of their other goals is to connect to Solana wallet at some point. I guess it didn't work out quite yet, but that might be an option in the future. But anyway, as Marv was saying, just create a new wallet. Don't put any crypto in it. Attach here, play the game, and then it's going to be the easiest way that you earn crypto. Now, will Pink be worth anything? Who knows?
And see if you can beat our scores. I think my high score is over 3,100, Milt.
What? You're not 3,100?
Yeah, I sent it to you. I even tweeted about it.
Was that higher than the one that you beat me with?
Yeah, that was higher. Yeah, because I beat you with like 3,056. You're like 3,000.
I'm in the 3,000 club. Mine is like 3,026 or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm in the 3,100 club. See if you can beat us, guys, and let us know in the comments because it's a ton of fun.
Yeah, so this is a no-brainer. Anyway, it's a great way to get a meme coin without having to spend any money. And this is just great. It's just another reason that I'm excited about Dot, that these sort of things are happening. Now, another project that I want to talk about today on Dot, which I've never talked about on the channel yet. I don't think we've ever talked about this one. Well, we probably did. It's Kusama.
Yeah, maybe briefly.
Sister. But it's Hydra DX. Okay, because this is one of the problems with Dot too, which is what has been lagging behind, is there's no real platforms to use. Like when I'm using Solana and all the other ones, I'm using all the DEXs, I'm using the lend and borrowing sites, even the new blockchains that come up all have that stuff. Now, look, Moonbeam has a bunch of stuff, but Moonbeam to me, I don't know what you think about it, Marv. I like Moonbeam and everything. It's the big Dot chain so far, but to me, it reminds me of other.
You like it more you've always liked it more than me.
But it reminds me of an ETH layer too.
It does, yeah, no, and it almost essentially is.
So like anytime I use the swapping and stuff. Anyway, so Hydra DX is an actual DEX chain on Polkadot. So to me, if you watch my last video, top 12 altcoins for 2024, one of those coins that I had on there, let me see, I have it here somewhere, is Osmosis. Okay, so Osmosis is my equivalent. I would say Hydra DX is kind of an equivalent of Osmosis. Osmosis was built on Cosmos using the Cosmos tech. Hydra DX is using Polkadot. But look at the disparity here. Like no one is using Hydra DX yet. Okay, so that is the thing. But if Dot takes off,
45
like we think
million
it is,
market cap.
It's a 45 million market cap. It's nothing. Now the liquidity on it is also nothing. So it's new, but I think they've done a good job. So the big difference with Hydra DX to any of the other DEXs, so if you know like Uniswap, obviously the big DEX in the space, the way that works is there's these pools of tokens and they're all paired. So there's a pool that has like ETH and Uniswap token. And if you're providing liquidity to Uniswap, you have to provide a little bit of ETH and a little bit of Uniswap. And then someone who is trading their Uniswap for ETH or vice versa is taking it out of that pool. What makes Hydra DX different is just one big pool. It's what they call the Omni pool. So you only have to put liquidity from one side in. And basically, if you're trading from so that it doesn't have to be a paired asset. So you're not getting Dot and Hydra DX and then Dot and DAI. You're just getting Dot and one pool of Dot, one pool of DAI, one pool of Hydra DX, and the whole thing is just one big Omni pool. They do other things like you can do DCAing through them, which is great. They are building on other things. There is actually a referral code. Which I have. I'll link it in our video. So if you are going to try Hydra DX, we would appreciate that you use our referral code for that. It's at Cryptowise, but the link will be in the video. But this is my look, there's a few other dexes, but I think that this is the furthest one along. Now, Akala has been, at least up until, last year or so, was the big hope for DeFi on Polkadot. Like when the parachains were happening, Akala was the big one. They were as big as Moonbeam. They've really let people down, I feel like. I still use Akala, but it's not great. Now, HydraDX doesn't have the users yet either, but in terms of bets for what could be the Osmosis of Dot, HydraDX could be that project for me. I'm going to place a small bet on it, because if you look at the market cap of Osmosis now, it's been on fire.
Yeah.
It's over $1 billion market cap.
Yeah.
It's fully diluted.
Almost
2 billion. So, in terms of where HydraDX is now at a $45 million market cap, if Dot takes off and it becomes the number one DEX on Dot,
I mean, this is one of the smart things to be
20x.
looking at, not just on Dot, but all of the different L1s, right, and L2s, is having a portfolio allocation in the primary, as well as a DEX, as well as a meme. I mean, if you have that combo across the board, those are the things you want to be looking at to have a really, really good allocation across that's likely to have great returns. And so to find something like HydraDX at a valuation like that, obviously high risk.
Yeah,
right?
it's obviously high risk. It's the liquidity. There's no liquidity on it yet in terms of its token and people using it. This is basically a speculation play on Polkadot, and if Polkadot takes off, there's going to have to be a dominant DEX. For me, I don't think it's going to be the Moonbeam ones. I think it's going to be a native Polkadot chain, and HydraDX right now is the one that I'm betting on. I've been using it. It actually works really well. There's just no liquidity on it, so it's not like when you provide liquidity on it right now, you're not making a lot of rewards or anything, but the usability is there. So if the people come in, it's already built, ready to go, and the tech is actually really good.
That's awesome.
All right, let's move on. Any other Polkadot projects that you want to talk about, Marv, on today's show?
I mean, yeah, I'm not going to go too deep into it today just because I'm still doing a bunch of research on it. It is a bit complex, but it is something that came across that I have been looking at. It's Manta Network. Now, this isn't just native to Polkadot. They're also heavily funded and involved with Polygon and Celestia. Now, it's Explore ZK with a modular blockchain on Ethereum. Manta Pacific mainnet is live. There are 50 million Manta tokens that are going to be dropped. Now, it's not so simple to take advantage of this drop, and also it's not clear as when it's going to end. They say January 2024. Now, I did this just before the new year. Okay, the new paradigm is live. You've got to bridge your ETH or USDC to earn Penta yield and Manta rewards tokens. But there's a lot of talk here. And something else that's very, very interesting is their total value locked here, Milt. $825 million. Last I looked at this a week ago, it was just under 700 million. And so this thing is growing, and it is growing fast. There's a ton of things being built on this right now. So low fees, high scalability, developer friendly. They've got their new SK use cases, non-invasive. They've got a privacy thing that they're doing, which is really cool for on-chain privacy across networks and cross-chain. They've got this verify your on-chain activity and assets while keeping wallet addresses sensitive. Information's private through POMP. Really, really cool stuff. And so the way that I took advantage of coming in is I brought in, you can see here, I brought in 1 ETH. Obviously, I'm not going crazy on it, but I wanted to test it out. I wanted to be a part of it. I wanted to get a chance to have a little piece of this drop. And so you bridge over your ETH, okay? And in exchange for that, every week, you get X amount of box pieces, which turn into a box that you unlock. And so my first box, which unlocks an NFT, essentially. And so my tier 1 backers is what I got. Again, it's random, so you can actually get these frenzies, which bring you up. Obviously, the more you bridge, the more you'll earn. But it's something super interesting. It's a bit complicated. I was going through the Manta Network docs to figure it out, because when I did bridge my ETH in here, I earned my first box, and I wanted to open it, but then I couldn't figure out how to bridge my ETH over, not lock it, but bridge it over. And so you do that through Manta Pacific. And so I bridged over a little bit of ETH so that I could actually utilize it on the network and actually open my boxes and earn my NFTs. But I'm having some fun in it. And at the same time, I'm doing a bunch of research. I do think, look, $800 million locked already. Their token is not out yet. It's supposed to drop in the next month or two. I think March is kind of when they're talking about it.
This is one to be super careful with, because on X, there's been a ton of hype around Manta lately, and a ton of scam airdrop.
Yeah, no, you got to be super careful. Well,
just careful in terms of the scams out there.
Not
don't fall for
of,
any of the scams.
Not in terms of be careful investing in Manta itself, but in terms of all the scams, I totally agree. There's so much for everything, but a lot going on in Manta. But this is going to be, look, Manta Network is something that a lot of people are going to continue to talk about, but it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. The total value locked at 800 million today is huge. And so I'm seeing this project. I want to get closer to it. I want to research it more, and I want to dive deeper into it. I wanted to bring it to the Cryptowise family as soon as I got into it, which is just about a week now, and I wanted to talk about it. But the more I learn and the more I get into it, I will continue to discuss it and give my opinion on it. I don't have much of an opinion right now, other than I wanted to participate. And I wanted to see what it was all about.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good one for us to watch for sure. You cannot deny the liquidity, how well it's been doing there. I'm really curious, and I'm interested in their partnership with Celestia, and of how they're using the Celestia tech to keep the fees super, super, super low. The layer 2 wars are going to be really, really interesting. And Manta is it's the latest big player in layer 2. They're doing things a lot different. So yeah, I think it's a great one for us to keep watching.
They've just got a ton of stuff. They've got this launch pad and so much more. So it's very possible that I'll do an in-depth video on this as I continue to dive deeper into it. But I did want to bring it to everyone's attention.
I like it. All right. We've been going long, but I do want to talk about one last DOT project. This is a brand new one. It's called Polemic. Actually, Marv, you'll be interested in this. Our friends over at Kilt. This was their it was their original idea. Now, obviously, they're busy with Kilt, and so they passed it on to another team who's taken it over. It's a decentralized fundraising platform. They are using Kilt for the credentials, so that's great that they're partnered with Kilt there. We love to see it. They just did their TGE. The token has been generated, but it's not publicly available yet. But if you if you had earned a token or had purchased in the private sales or whatever, you have access to it. You can't trade it or anything, but you'll be able to stake it soon. They're partnered with most of the Polkadot wallets, but Polemic, it's a really interesting project. I really like this idea of decentralized fundraising. Basically, it's a decentralized community-driven funding protocol, and it's going to be a way to, for crypto projects to do fundraising in a decentralized way and a trustless way. Now, you and I have been, we've been a part of a lot of private crypto sales in the past, and a lot of the times it's the contracts and stuff like that are to be honest, you're really putting trust that this person's going to send you the tokens that you've bought. Now you've got a contract or whatever.
I mean, this is genius.
Yeah, so this will just automatically do it in a decentralized way, and it's going to be not just for new projects launching, but existing projects will be able to do some fundraising through it as well. So I think it's a really interesting one. There's the online credentials here that they're doing through Kilt, which is going to be a great use case for Kilt. This idea that you don't have to KYC everything, like you don't have to give over a picture of your driver's license or whatever.
When you can just do KYC once.
Well, and it's and just provide them with the information they need to prove that, as opposed to handing over basically your whole identity to them. So yeah, Polemic is a brand new project that just launched their token, even though it's not publicly available. It's one I'm going to be looking out for. I'll be really curious with where it's going to be available and what the price point is going to be when it finally hits the market. So I'm watching for Polemic.
Polemic. I mean, there's a lot happening, right? These are great projects. We're doing a lot of research for you guys. Milt, do you have any? I mean, looking at Polkadot now, it's at $7. What is your prediction? Do you have any prediction on where you might see Polkadot in 2024?
I'm sticking with Polkadot as one of my big plays for this bull run. Look, they gotta bring in the retail investors this time around. They have to generate some more retail friendly things to get people there. Look, the old all-time high was at $50. I think it really depends on how major this bull run is. Like, where is the ETH market cap going to get to? Where is the Bitcoin market cap going to get to? But I think, to me, DOT should be a top 5 crypto. I've got Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and DOT as what I think should be the top 4 in terms of market cap. So what does that mean for DOT? What is it right now? It's sitting at, in terms of its placement, it's ranked 12th?
11th, yeah. I think.
So yeah, I think it should jump up. So I think if all things can come together, I see it far surpassing its all-time high of almost $55.
Yeah, so thanks for giving us barely no information on your other than you think it's going to do well.
What do you mean? I'm calling it to be a top 4.
No, that's
crypto.
huge. That's
How do you
huge.
go? You can't go.
I want a price prediction from Melt.
Well, who cares what the price is if it's number 4 in all of
See,
crypto?
guys, how easy it is to give Milt riled up.
It's all number 4 in all of crypto, where do you put it?
Honestly, if the action is what we believe it's going to be in this bull, which I believe it will, then I see Polkadot breaking 200.
Okay, and with a market, so that puts its market cap at what then? At 200, it's
you're doing call it a 20x. Yeah.
Okay. And then where do you think that will rank in terms of all of crypto?
No, I think that's the same. I think we're in the same boat. I think we're talking like 5th, 4th, 5th in that range.
So, I mean, really what we're saying is, even though it's a big token, we think that it has room to move.
I just think, I think a 2 to 3x from its last all-time high, based on how much has been developed on DOT, wouldn't surprise me if all things go right. And so... and from here, forget about last all-time high. From here, that's over a 20x in my prediction. That's where I'd love to see it. That's where I think it deserves to be, and I think that there's a lot going its way. But I agree with you. It needs to go It needs to get more mainstream. More projects need to bring it to the retailer attention, and there's a lot that's got to happen for that to get there. But the same is to be said with so many. But
I love the Coretime that's happening. We also need seamless interoperability. The one reason we love DOT is
so frustrating that we're not there yet.
Yeah, I mean, you should basically be able to send to any DOT chain without even caring or knowing what chain you're on. That's where we need to get to.
I agree, and I hope the same for most of the other projects and ecosystems. Well, it's good to be back. It's good to be back from under the rock. I'm seeing some sunlight now. I'm getting some vitamin D.
I'm happy. I was worried about you, Marv. I didn't know what was going on.
I see Bitcoin as basically like the sun, and it's starting to come up again. And so those rays are coming down.
The sun has been out for months now, Marv.
A super big thank you to the entire Cryptowise family. Thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for being with us. We've been, sticking with us over the years, the bulls, the bears. We're super excited to be back. Milt's been doing a ton on this channel, and our goal is to bring you the best content that we possibly can and be as transparent along the way, guys. We love you very much, and congratulations to, I don't know what his tag was, Mr. G.I. Joe.
Trader G.I. Joe.
Trader G.I. Joe, congratulations.
Make sure to reply to my reply. Get that We Are the Walrus.
That's an awesome, awesome thing. Okay, guys, until next time, this is Milton and Marv signing off.